We're back for our daily MLB Best Bets here for Thursday, April 17th. Yesterday, a 4-1 day with the only exception being the Washington Nationals losing to the Pittsburgh Pirates. The 6-game win streak will not happen, and I will get more into that in a second. But before we get into the video, folks, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily MLB Best Bets here on the channel. We are 8-1 in the last 2 days here, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Tomorrow, we will do our NBA play-in predictions, obviously, with the 2 final matchups in the play-in before the NBA playoffs on Saturday, so make sure to join us for that. And also on Greedo Plays MMA this week, we've got our PFL 3, Kasunganai versus Edwards full card predictions. That video is linked in the description down below, and go subscribe to Greedo Plays MMA while you're at it as well. And also subscribe to this channel too. Okay, on to the first of our 5 best bets for today, and we're going to the Washington Nationals best bet of the day, over 7.5. I've given up on the wins right now. I'm actually really confused why the Nationals are only plus 100. I think they should be like plus 150 today. I think they can win. Am I confident? No. Am I going to get up at 9 o'clock to watch? Yes. Am I going to be pissed off tomorrow morning? Probably. But I don't expect them to win this game, and I hope they do, right? This is a 7-11 team. I'm hoping they can get back to 3 games under, and we're hoping they can actually sweep the Rockies. They'll probably screw that up, but hopefully over the weekend they can, sweep Colorado. I don't like this at all, the money line. It's not the worst, but I think the odds should just be better. What I like today is the over on runs. I think you get 2 extremely hittable pitchers in this matchup with Trevor Williams and Andrew Heaney. Andrew Heaney hasn't been horrible this year, but he's given up runs in all 3 of his starts. Given his first 2 starts against the Marlins and the Yankees, only gave up 1 run. His last start, though, against the Reds, gave up 4 runs in 6 innings. Extremely hittable pitcher, I think, at times. A lefty where if the Nats are on their game, they probably can get to him. I don't know. And at the same time, guys, Trevor Williams pitches for the Washington Nationals. The reason why we're taking the over in this game is because there's a chance Williams gives the Nationals a good 5 innings. He never goes more than 5 innings. That's just what he does usually, because he's going to fill up this, he's going to fill the box. He's going to, work deep in counts, and, sometimes it works, but Trevor Williams barely gets deep into games. So again, max 6 innings, probably 5 innings. And the Nationals bullpen is just the worst in the MLB. You saw yesterday with Jorge Lopez how the guy got ejected for throwing at Andrew McCutchen. Do I think he actually threw at McCutchen? No, I think the ball slipped out of his hands. It's 30-something degrees out there. It's just hard to throw. And, when Paul DeYoung gets his face ripped off the other day because the Pirates threw at him, again, I don't think that was intentional either. Nothing happens. No warning for that. But the ball slips out of Lopez's hand, and now he's ejected. The bench is clear, and of course, just nothing happens. The Nationals then, it's supposed to anger you, right? Oh yeah, O'Neal Cruz 2 pitches later hits a grand slam after the ejections and the bench is clearing stuff. It's just, they're a joke, the Nationals right now. They just are. I've said it before. Nothing will change until the Lerners sell the team. It's just, I hope something changes. The Lerners, Mark Lerner, I believe, is the 5th richest owner in all of baseball, and his team has been like this for the last 6 seasons. It's an absolute joke. But the thing is, the Nationals bullpen's bad. Besides Kyle Finnegan, and I like Jose A. Ferrer, but I can't trust anybody in that bullpen other than Finnegan. And it's hard to trust Finnegan, too. I like Kyle, all-star, probably back-to-back years at this rate, honestly. His ERA is like 1 right now. But the thing is, he doesn't pitch until the 9th inning. So there's a lot of work to be done in this game where Trevor Williams comes out in the 5th, right? And you still got 6, 7, 8 with his bullpen, right? Jorge Lopez probably won't pitch. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. We're probably going to see Cole Henry pitch yesterday. Jose A. Ferrer will probably pitch at some point. Lucas Sims and Colin Poche. Don't know how Poche still has a job. Those guys, though, are due to pitch. I just think we see a lot of runs in this game with 2, abysmal offenses at time. I mean, guys, the Pittsburgh Pirates have the worst offense in all of baseball, and they scored 6 runs against the Nationals today. And in that first game, they scored 10. How do you give up 16 runs in 3 games to the worst offense in baseball? We'll leave it to the Washington Nationals. Guys, Mitchell Parker yesterday goes 6 innings, 1 run, gave up a solo blast to Henry Davis, and when that happened, I was like, all right, game over. This is the direction of that game. It's a joke what the Nationals do on a daily basis. So the over today should hit. Andrew Heaney, I think the Nats, I hope they're fired up after yesterday. I hope. I mean, I gotta think that the seat's getting a little hot for Davey Martinez. You'd think we're looking at a 6th consecutive losing season. We are. And I like Davey Martinez. Like, trust me, I really like Davey. But at some point, something's got to change. I don't know. And I don't think it should start with Davey Martinez. I think it should start with our hitting coach, Darnell Coles. I think it needs to start with Jim Hickey, who's the pitching coach. People want to fire, Nats fans want them to fire Gerardo Parra. He's our first base coach. Ricky Gutierrez at third. All right, now you're talking. But I'm serious. Darnell Coles needs to start with him. Jim Hickey, Gutierrez, and Mark Lerner needs to sell the team is what needs to happen. All right. I think the Nationals could win today. I think the over is the better bet, though. I can see the Pirates hitting off of Trevor Williams. It is Williams' former squad. I think the Nats have to show something today. They're last game before they're going to Colorado tomorrow. You get a 3-game set at Coors Field. Leave it to the Nats to screw that one up probably. But I think the over today hits. We're going to over 7.5. The line right now is -110. I do not mind it at all. Pirates and Nationals over. We'll see you tomorrow at Coors Field. Next up, we move to our nerfy of the day. We hit yesterday with the Miami Marlins and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Shout out Brandon Fott and Max Mayer. We're going now today to a nerfy between the Athletics and the Chicago White Sox. You can get into this baseball game for, I kid you not, $1. I'm looking at it right now on ESPN. Pitching matchup tonight, JP Sears, Davis Martin. I think JP Sears can get 3 outs. Sears has given up 3 runs pretty much in every single start he's had this year. Davis Martin has shown decent signs, especially in his last start against the Boston Red Sox. He goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. He was very bad in the Tigers start, 5 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs. We just need 3 outs, though. Can we get that tonight? I think so. I was thinking about going -1.5 today on the Athletics. It was like +120. Didn't look like horrible value. But I think the nerfy's better. And the nerfy's great with JP Sears versus the White Sox. The White Sox are not scoring in the first inning. Where there is concern is with the Athletics, don't get me wrong, but we'll talk about that in a second. The White Sox, they don't move me at all. Luis Robert is just there. Robert. I swear, I've heard different pronunciations of that guy's name since he, was a highly touted prospect, or somewhat of a highly touted prospect. Regardless, he's just waiting to get traded at this point. He's batting 140. You got Vargas in the leadoff spot, who wishes he was still in LA. He's batting 140. They're right now batting Nick Maton in the 2. He's batting 139. That's 3 outs. If it gets to Andrew Vaughn, oh no, he bats 130. Vargas went 0 for 5 yesterday. Maton goes 0 for 3. Robert goes 0 for 4. Okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm not concerned about anything that goes on with the Chicago White Sox. JP Sears will get his 3 outs. That's in the bottom half of the inning. The trickier part is in the top half. Davis Martin, again, I think he's able to build momentum after his last start last Friday against the Red Sox. Again, the guy goes 6 innings, gives up 1 run. And that 1 run, I believe came in the 7th before he got pulled, if I'm not mistaken. So Martin was really good. Again, 6 strikeouts in the game. I know we don't really care about strikeouts for this one, but we just need Martin to get us the 3 outs. I think he will. I am a little bit concerned because the A's bats are good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we've been high on Lawrence Butler for a while. He's batting .290 on the season. Brent Rooker averages in there right now, but, the power definitely will always be there. And Tyler Soderstrom, right? I mean, I was at the guy's major league debut a couple years ago. Soderstrom's a dog. I mean, again, didn't really develop when he first got called up. The guy's batting .325 this season. He leads the entire major leagues in home runs. Soderstrom is really good. We just need Davis Martin to take care of business in the first inning. After that, we don't really care what happens. I think the Athletics would probably, finish up their sweep here in Chicago. But I think if there is a pitcher that can kind of keep it going for the White Sox and keep them somewhat competitive in this game, it is going to be Davis Martin. Again, the White Sox pitching staff, you get him, you get Burke, you get Cannon. I mean, there's guys, they're young. Well, Davis Martin's 28. Yikes. It's fine. But, they haven't been that bad this year. It's just their bats have been really atrocious. And when your bats are uncompetitive, then, you give up 3 runs like yesterday, you lose the game. I mean, Chicago's pitching staff has held a lot of teams to under 4 runs this season. They just have a 14-13 record because they can't hit the baseball. So I'm really not too concerned about this, and I think we get this nerfy at a really good price too, -125. I'm seeing either -120 or -125 for this play. I really like it, actually. Again, I know the A's bats are really good, but Davis Martin had a really good start in his last game. Again, building momentum off of that. And I'm not concerned at all about JP Sears finding his way towards three outs. Vargas is going to take us yard 8. Yeah, we're good there. So it all really comes down to Davis Martin, and really the matchup to watch is the man in the 3-hole for the Athletics and Tyler Soderstrom, the first baseman. I think we're going to be okay. I think Davis Martin will get us that out. So, and even if, again, Soderstrom gets on, Shea Langelier is behind him, really good power bat. We'll see. I think Davis Martin can be okay in that righty-righty matchup if Soderstrom or, for that matter, Lawrence Butler gets on as well. Where he should be okay, I'm going to the nerfy here in the Chicago White Sox and Sacramento Athletics game. JP Sears, Davis Martin, go get us 6 outs from Chicago. Let's go on to our third best bet of the video. We move to our best player prop. Let's go to Detroit, Michigan. On Fox Sports 1, we've got the Tigers taking on the Kansas City Royals, and we are going Bobby Witt Jr. On the over total bases tonight. Over 1.5 total bases. Why? This is matchup based. Reese Olson, the righty on the mound for Detroit. We know Bobby Witt's going to get a bunch of at-bats. The Royals coming off of their sweep over in the Bronx against the New York Yankees. Well, obviously, they were the ones that got swept. Regardless, we know Bobby Witt's going to get a lot of at-bats. He bats second for this team. He's by far their best hitter. He's one of the best players in all of baseball. Bobby Witt's batting over 310 this season, and he bats fairly well against Reese Olson. So career-wise, Bobby Witt in 11 at-bats is 6 for 11 at the plate against Reese Olson with 1 double, 1 triple, and 2 home runs. So it's not like he just, again, gets on base. He's finding ways, again, making contact against Reese Olson. No. He's dominated Reese Olson. OPS of over 190. Yeah. That's big time. Bobby Witt has destroyed Olson in this matchup. Average 545 for Bobby Witt. Again, he is going to get multiple. He's going to get 4, potentially 5 at-bats. He's by far the best matchup against Olson on this entire Royals team. You can look at a guy like Carlos Bell, who's 2 for 5 career, or Michael Garcia's 3 for 10 career, 6 for 11. That's some serious ownage right there. And now this doesn't always produce, obviously, like we talked about yesterday. Josh Bell is batting over 600 against Bailey Falter career-wise in the Nationals. And by the way, Bailey Falter had a 7.2 ERA, and the Nationals got shut out in 7 innings against him, and Josh Bell went 0 for 3. But anyways, Bobby Witt, he has owned Reese Olson in this matchup, so I think the 1.5 total bases over on that should be pretty fine. Again, Bobby Witt, we know how good this guy is. He's an elite player in the game. Bobby Witt batting .313 on the season, 2 home runs, but again, it's all about the total bases. Witt has cleared this line in his last 2 games in New York. Again, the 2-game series against the Yankees, they played 3 games. In those 3 games, though, against the Yankees, he did clear it in the first 2 games of the series. The last one, he didn't. He just had 1 hit, but regardless, for a single. But in the first 2 games of that Yankees Royals series, Witt goes 1 for 4 in the second one with a double, 2 singles in the first outing. I think Witt's going to be fine. Again, that's what Bobby Witt's going to do. He's a great dynamic baseball player. He's one of the best, if not the best, shortstops in all the MLB. He's always putting the ball into play. And again, history does show us he has dominated Reese Olson. So why would today be any different? And again, you always like taking player props for guys who are high in the lineup like Bobby Witt is. He's batting second, so even once we get past a guy like Reese Olson pitching, Bobby Witt's going to stay at the plate. He's going to get multiple opportunities. For reference, 4 at-bats in his last game. There's potential for potentially 5 because, Casey had 30 total at-bats in their last game against the Yankees. So if they're able to loop around one more time, there's potential for a 5 at-bat Bobby Witt day. But even in 4 at-bats, I think we're perfectly fine with Witt getting this one done. Over 1.5 total bases. It can be a homer. It can be 2 singles. It can be a double. Hell, it can be a triple. We don't care. We just need Bobby Witt to go over. We're going with one of the best players in the game, Bobby Witt Jr. for the Kansas City Royals, over 1.5 total bases against Reese Olson and the Detroit Tigers. Let's go on to our 4th best bet of the day, and we go to our 2 money lines. The first of which is in Florida at the Yankees spring training facility in the Grapefruit League, but it is a home game for the Tampa Bay Rays. I'm going with the Rays over the Yankees. This is completely matchup based here, and really we're looking at the pitchers. Will Warren versus Taj Bradley. Now, Taj Bradley 2-0 in the season, pitched to a no decision, if I'm not mistaken, in his second start of the year in Texas. But his 2 wins over the Rockies and over the Braves, they were both at home for Taj Bradley in this new ballpark for the Rays, at least for this one season away from the Trop. Taj Bradley has looked really good in those two starts. First one against Colorado, 6 innings, 2 runs. Atlanta start, 6 innings, 1 run. Taj Bradley's been good this year at home, okay? Also, 7 strikeouts in each game for Taj Bradley, even including that start on the road in Texas against the Rangers. Now, I know how good the Yankees lineup is. We'll get to that in a second, right? They're coming off of that sweep in that 3-game series over the Kansas City Royals. But first, right, the pitcher for the Yankees tonight is Will Warren. The Yankees pitching staff has seen some things this season. We know obviously Max Fried has been dominant. The rest of the guys have been very up and down. I will make the case Will Warren has just been down the entire time. His best start did come in his last start. I will give him credit in the win over the San Francisco Giants. He goes 5 innings, 2 runs given up in that game with a homer on 2 walks. The other 2 starts, not very productive. The first one of the season, a loss to the Arizona Diamondbacks, right? Warren is the 5th starter in this Yankees rotation. He goes 5 innings, only 1 hit, but 2 runs, 4 walks. That's not ideal, right? A lot of free passes in that game, and it got way worse in his next start at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania against the Pirates. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits, 4 runs given up, only 1 walk, but again, he got mashed by the Pittsburgh Pirates. That's something that should be left for the Washington Nationals to get, done by. Regardless, Will Warren has not been that great, and I understand, again, we have kind of, we have gone at Tampa Bay's lineup a little bit this season. Hell, you're looking at their last game where they lost to the Boston Red Sox. They get shut out, 1-0. They lose the game, only 5 hits. I think they got to come around eventually, and this is the matchup for them. And really, when we look at this entire series between Tampa Bay and New York, a 3-game set, obviously, or sorry, a 4-game set for the weekend, this is one of their better matchups. I mean, Shane Baz is going to be pitching on Saturday, who's been, very good this season. He's going up against Carlos Carrasco, but I think, and Ryan Pepio is going on Sunday, but Pepio's just been okay. This is probably their second best opportunity to win a game in this series. Again, am I expecting them to get swept if they don't win this game? No, but it's a good opportunity to get back on track for a Rays team that did drop back-to-back games against Boston on Tuesday and Wednesday to ultimately lose that series. Now, again, New York's an incredible team. I don't have to state that for you, right? You look at the bats in this lineup. Paul Goldschmidt's batting .350. Aaron Judge is, we're not going to crown him yet, but it's looking like he is going to win another AL MVP award. The guy's batting .410 this season. It's crazy. Trent Grisham at the bottom of the lineup's been very good for them, but there are still a lot of gaps and there's still a lot of holes in this lineup. Now, we went to the Yankees in their last series against the Royals, right? We had them in a parlay with the Athletics in Chicago against the White Sox, and the Yankees came back in that one game. It was a come from behind victory for the Bronx Bombers. There's still a lot of holes in this lineup, right? There's some great bats right now, right? Goldschmidt, Judge, Grisham, Ben Rice has been really good as well. But you look at a guy like Cody Bellinger, still batting in the 180s. Jazz Chisholm, very inconsistent right now, right? At the hot start, he's gotten a little bit back on track, hit a home run a couple games ago, but Jazz is still batting in the 170s. Austin Wells is in the 180s, right? We'll see again, Jason Dominguez, we'll see where he's at. He's been all right this year, but 3 strikeouts in the last game against the Royals. We'll see. Volpe's just been kind of Peraza just kind of been We will see what Yankees we get tonight, though. But you take the Yankees out of the Bronx, and they're not as good of a team, in my opinion. I think they're 3-4, I believe, away from the Bronx this year, or 3-3 away from the Bronx, 8-4 at home. We'll see. Again, division matchup. I like the Rays a lot in this spot. Just because, again, I'm not going to try to, completely sell you on Taj Bradley. I think Bradley's got a lot of good put-away stuff. I think he is going to have a lot of, very good at-bats against the Yankees today. I think he's going to provide the Rays with a quality start. But I think the biggest thing in this game is Will Warren on the mound for the Yankees, right? A lot of free passes, something that if you give this Rays team, they should take advantage of. A team that, sure, has been struggling hitting, but this is the type of pitcher I think that's going to get them back on track, right? We know how good Caminero is. Christopher Morel's been all right. Caballero's actually been pretty good as well. Actually, Morel's been better than all right. The rest of the lineup does need some help right now, and I do think this is the type of pitcher that gets them back on track. So I'm going to take the Tampa Bay Rays in the spot. I understand Tampa Bay's got a losing record. They're 8-10. I think they get back in the win column, though, today. And they are favorites to win this one. I think that's got to be a combination of Will Warren on the mound and the game being in Florida. I'm taking Tampa Bay here at home to beat the New York Yankees on the money line. -120 for the Rays. Sign me up. Going on to our final game of the day and our final best bet of the day, let's go to the other New York baseball team. That's just what the Mets are always going to be considered. Let's go to Queens. The New York Mets take on the St. Louis Cardinals. This is our big plus money play of the day. I'm going with the St. Louis Cardinals to beat the New York Mets. And no, this is not an emotional pick. This is not my hatred of the New York Mets coming out. I trust me, it's not. We faded the Mets yesterday in Minnesota. They lost 4-3. Ty France, of all people, hit the walk-off in extra innings for Minnesota. I'll never do that again. I apologize. The Cardinals, though, tonight will be sending out Andre Payante. He's been good this year, right? 2.22 ERA, 2.20 ERA this season, and his last start against the Phillies, a very good lineup. He goes 7 innings, 2 hits, 0 runs. I believe that was the game the Phillies were coming off of their marathon game at Truist Park against the Braves. But still, Payante's been pretty good so far this season. For the New York Mets, they are going to Griffin Canning. Canning was supposed to make the start yesterday, got scratched. Here he is. All of a sudden, he's going to pitch today. Okay. He was under the weather. It's a flu game for him today at home, but it's not like Canning's been that great. 4.20 ERA this season, coming off a start against the Athletics that he did win, that the Mets ended up winning, but he goes 5 1/3, gives up 4 runs on 7 hits and 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. I'm not blown away by Griffin Canning at all. His start before that, the Mets win the game, but he only goes 4 innings against the Toronto Blue Jays. And the start before that in Houston gives up 2 runs in 5 2/3. It is what it is. It's no surprise, again, that I'm not sold on the Mets bat still. I think, again, it's a topic of discussion for a lot of Mets fans about Juan Soto right now. Juan Soto's guy is batting in the 230s. He's batting in the 230s. Every guy in that starting lineup yesterday for the Mets had a hit except for Juan Soto. Mets had 10 total hits. Juan Soto makes up for 0 of those. That's a problem. This guy is getting paid the largest contract in Major League Baseball history for a position player. And this is what he is doing. I'm not trying to hate on Juan Soto. I'm just trying to bring this into reality, right? 2 days ago, he said that it's tough hitting without the best hitter in baseball behind you. Well, Pete Alonso's batting .365 this year. He went 2 for 4 yesterday. He's performing a lot better than Juan Soto is. He's slugging .730 like Pete Alonso does. Juan hasn't been great. OPS is 700 for Juan? I mean, again, the OBP is always going to be up because Juan's going to walk, but still, it's not very Juan Soto-like. I think it's a problem. I don't dislike Juan Soto. I think I might have said that earlier this year. I'm a little pissed off. He's a New York Met, which is okay. I'm more pissed off than Bryce Harper's a Philly, I'll be honest with you. Much more pissed off. I don't think it was worth the money. I don't think it was. And I think this is going to go very bad for the Mets. I'm seeing Mets fans on Twitter call Juan Soto the Dominican Jason Bay. Okay, I don't think it's going to be that bad, but I just don't think it's really going to work out. And I don't think the Mets, I will say it, I don't think the Mets are going to win the division. I don't think they're going to the playoffs. And I think the Cardinals actually beat them tonight. Again, I'm not sold on Griffin Canning. I'm not. I think Canning's just very mid. The Cardinals are sending a pretty good pitcher out to the mound tonight. And St. Louis is coming off a series at home against the Houston Astros where they won 2 of 3. Don't look now, but the Cardinals lineup, all right, they might be proving me wrong a little bit. Brendan Donovan's having an electric start to the season. He's batting .380. He's in the 3 spot for St. Louis. Nolan Arenado quietly hasn't been that bad this year. Obviously, the offseason, speculation around him. Oh, is he going to get traded? Is he going to waive the no-trade clause? Well, Arenado's still here, and he hasn't had a bad season. Lars Nootbaar yesterday goes yard for the Cardinals. He's got 3 RBI. With that, obviously, 3-run shot. They're not that bad, right? I kind of looked at St. Louis in this offseason or going into the season just like, Cardinals, they're, kind of old, but kind of, going out with the old, in with the new right now. But St. Louis isn't going to move anybody. And I don't think they're a playoff team, don't get me wrong. I don't know who's going to win the NL Central. It's probably going to be the Cubs. The Brewers always win it. They'll find a way. Yeah, it'll be the Brewers probably. But anyways, right? I think the Cardinals can win this matchup. I think it's a great spot for them. Again, on the road, The Mets are coming off losing 2 of 3. The Cardinals have won 2 of 3. And I like the starting pitching matchup for the Cardinals, especially with Griffin Canning on the mound. I think it's a very hittable pitcher for St. Louis. And look at the Mets. I'm just like, I'm not blown away with this team. A lot of missed opportunities yesterday. Again, Juan Soto hasn't been clutch right now. He just hasn't. They've got good bats, don't get me wrong. Lindor hasn't been that bad. You know, Jesse Winker has been okay. He's coming alive as of late. And Pete Alonso, we know how great he has been. Acuna as well has been pretty good for them, but who somehow they got for Max Scherzer, which is just, I don't know how they pulled that one off, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sold on the Mets. I'm not. Guys, they got shut out until the 8th inning yesterday, scored 3 runs in the 8th, still end up losing the baseball game in extras. You can say, oh, their bullpen blew it for them. I guess. Just, I'm not sold on this team, man. I'm really not. We're going with the St. Louis Cardinals doing this game in Queens. The Mets aren't very good. This will not become a continuous thing where we always fade the Mets. Hell, we picked the Mets a couple days ago, or last week, in our little parlay, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I'm taking the Cardinals here. I think for the value, guys, it's by far the best underdog play today in terms of the straight money lines. We're going to take the Cardinals at +20 as they go on the road to Queens to beat the New York Mets. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our MLB Best Bets here for April 17th. If you have not yet, though, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like. If you did enjoy the video, make sure to comment. If you do disagree with any of the picks, we'll be back tomorrow for more daily MLB Best Bets and the return, obviously, of our NBA predictions and best bets as well. Folks, thank y'all for watching. At Mamba, forever.